Before this video starts, I really want to show you guys something. So, if you all remember, before I deleted my Twitter, I actually made a Twitter post about me donating to the Kirby Morrow Scholarship Fund. And during that time point, the Hagemans said that, if you donated at least $20 in January of 2021, then you would get a letter from us, telling us thanks. Well, guess what? I got their letter. Yep, it's them, their little cameo, and rebooted, and then their signatures. It said, Luke, when the ninja needed help, you delivered. Thank you. I really thank the Hagemans for giving me this. I really didn't know what to do with that money. I didn't have enough money to buy another new Fold shirt, and this just gave me more of an incentive to donate. I probably would have donated anyway, but this gave me more of a reason, because I was getting a reward for my good deeds. But anyways, I just really wanted to show you guys this, because you don't get stuff like this every day. You don't get stuff like this. And I really appreciate the Hagemans for giving me this as a reward for my kindness. But anyways, let's move on to today's video. We're halfway done through my best ninja scene, and now we're going with my fourth ninja to do, Nya, the Master of Water. Although she is the newest ninja of the crew, she definitely has had her own scenes. Maybe not as much, but she's definitely had at least 5 good scenes. And while this list was very hard for me to make, I still found out a way to make 5 moments that made her shine. So here are my top 5 favorite Nya scenes. One of the big mysteries of Season 1 was, who was Samurai X? Well, if you weren't into the sets like I was, it was a big old mystery. But if you were into the sets, it was leaked. Because of the eyebrows. And it was obvious that it was Nya. But this was one of the bigger twists back in the early days of the show, along with Zane being a robot and Lloyd being the Green Ninja. While I don't think it has overall that much impact now, her being Samurai X was definitely a huge deal at the time, as it was the start of her major role throughout the series. And Samurai X is truly something she treasured. Although what happened after was very, very controversial. Her overall death in the 1 minute that she was actually dead definitely felt emotional, as Jay loved her to the point where he'd do anything to save her. And that's what I really liked about Jay's side of the relationship. He'll do anything for his girl. And even though I really did not like what was about to come next, before that happened, I really did like where the direction it was going, because this was only the second time that Ninjago has killed off, or at least killed off, a ninja before. First being Zane, of course, and rebooted. But little did I know that what was about to come was going to be super controversial and something I would hate for years to come. And that's why it's kind of low on my list. You're not the only one who lost everything. I lost my friends, my brother, my boyfriend, and then something else I can't remember. But basically, her saying to Lloyd that you're not the only one who hasn't who has lost everything, was super inspirational, and is definitely the spark that Nya needed to build Lloyd up from his depression in Season 9. Nya felt like a leader in Season 9, and that's what I truly appreciate. Season 9 was definitely one of her highest seasons, and it really shows with this scene. And even though it was only a short 1 minute, 2 minute monologue, it definitely holds some meaning in my heart. Okay, these next two entries might be a bit long, but a truly underrated scene for Nya makes its way to number 2, and that is her fight with the new Samurai X in Season 7. Now, why is this above something like Nya's death, you may ask? Well, Nya's death was before the infamous time reversal, so there's that. But also just because it holds more meaning to it for me. If you don't know what happened in this scene, basically, Nya confronted the new Samurai X as she was still clinging onto it. She hasn't fully moved on from Samurai X. And she just wants to know, who is taking my suit? Who is doing this? And she ends up battling this random person who, for some reason, can do voice modulation, as she starts off as supposedly Dareth, and then Ronin, and then Misako, Garmadon, Wu, Kai, Cole. It was bewildering. And then, basically, the last voice this person did was Nya's. And it was Nya talking to Nya. And that's what I kind of liked. It felt like Nya was talking to herself about it. It's sort of like a future Nya talking to the past Nya. And she said that the true reason for Samurai X was to protect her identity and to protect those she cares about. And Nya absolutely agreed with this new Samurai X. And she has finally let go of Samurai X. She has passed the torch to this new participant who took up her mantle to carry on her legacy, which ultimately ended up being Pixel. And, well, it's truly underrated. I really don't understand why a lot of Hands of Time is really getting crapped on, especially when it has scenes like that. It really boggles my mind how Season 7 is considered one of the worst installments when it has some of the most meaningful scenes behind it. This one obviously had to be number 1. And of course, it's her true potential from the Season 5 finale. So, if you have been living under a rock, basically, throughout the entire season, Nya was still going by her Samurai X moniker until Misako said that your mother was the master of water and that she is the descendant of... She's the next elemental master of water. And she trains along with Wu to harness and hone that ability. The same way that he did with her brother Kai, with harnessing the fire inside of him. Wu teaches her things like how water is fluid, and that it can be strong, but it can be fluid at the same time. And also testing her with the famous bucket test, if you remember that. All that perfectly led up to this climax, as Wu documents her biggest weakness is failing, which is a absolutely realistic weakness to a lot of people. A lot of people are perfectionists. They want everything to look as spick and span as possible. And it's basically kind of like OCD at that point. And they just don't want to fail. They don't want to feel like they are a failure to everyone else, which is perfectly understandable. I've had those feelings before, where sometimes everything has to look a certain way, otherwise it just doesn't look good for me. And this definitely coincides with Nya and her struggle in Season 5. She learns that failure is okay. Sometimes you need to fail in order to succeed. And that's what she did. She accepts that, hey, I can fail, and that's fine. And that I shouldn't give up if I fail. And this unlocks her to her true potential. One of the best I've seen. One of the best in the entire series. And as she uses she harnesses the power of the water to drown the preeminent and stop the cursed realm once and for all. Until the Kaiju Protocol, that is, but we don't talk about that. I just wish that Nya as a ninja was just capitalized more and was executed a lot better. But anyways, what are your favorite Nya moments? Let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel by clicking on that red subscribe button, and click on the notification bell to see every video that I will upload. And I'll see all you folks in the next video. Bye bye!